Hi there, I'm Annie. Let's get started on your beginner flow. This is Luna, who is apparently going to be joining us today as well. So, we're going to start this simple practice meant for anybody in any space in a tabletop. So, if you'll come forward with your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, just into an all fours position. Spread out your fingers, grip down through the finger pads a little bit so that your palms lift ever so slightly. Turn your biceps forward. Your knees are right underneath your hips. Now, with the tops of your feet down onto the mat, drop your belly, lift your gaze, inhale, and look up. Exhale, drop your head, round and hollow out. So again, on that breath in where you fill up your lungs with air, you're looking up at your ceiling, at your space while you arch your back a lot. Then, as you take kind of a Halloween cat spine up to the ceiling and round your back, you'll send all the air out of your lungs. And then do that again. So this is your cow pose when you're looking up on the inhale, your cat pose when you're looking down on the exhale. Notice how the upper body is on, your core is fired up, even the lower body as you press the tops of your feet down. Then what you'll do is get an inch smaller, maybe even a little bit less than an inch smaller in your range of motion in each direction. So instead of that huge arch, it's a teeny bit smaller. Instead of that huge rounding, it's a teeny bit smaller. You keep doing that, getting smaller and smaller and smaller until the idea is by the end, you've hit your perfect neutral spine. You're not too arched, you're not too rounded. I love to start with this in any kind of beginner flow so that you can really feel what your neutral spine feels like. That's where you're going to want to land when you're on the mat, when you're standing at any point in yoga. Not too arched, not too rounded, right in between. In yoga, we're often trying to find the balance between effort and ease, the yin and the yang, if you will. There's that spot right in the middle, kind of like your neutral spine, where the magic happens. Okay, remember what that feels like. And then widen your knees. Take them to the widths of your mat, or if you're not on a yoga mat, just a little wider of your hips. Your toes will touch. Your arms will reach forward, and you'll settle your hips back into a child's pose. Now, if that feels like it's too much, it's too early in your practice, or it's uncomfortable because yoga is new to you, you can take a pillow or a cushion underneath your seat and between your heels. You could instead take the knees to touch and reach your arms back instead. Either is a child's pose. You'll take whatever you need out of it. Wherever you are in that child's pose, if you are able to make a connection with your forehead to your mat, to your floor, or to something else, maybe a pillow, see if you can gently rock your forehead left to right and set a little goal for the next 10 minutes. Your goal might be just to be present. Your goal might be to arrive with a beginner's mind, which means that when things are new, they are simply that, new. There's no ego or judgment attached in yoga. There's no better or worse. There's no levels, no pass or fail. You are simply arriving here with a beginner's mind, being willing to experience new things. If you can imagine that little mantra, whatever you've chosen, is between your eyebrows as you rock your forehead left to right, it's like you're soaking in that goal for the next 10 minutes. With that in mind, shift yourself back to tabletop. Then curl your toes under, keeping that neutral spine. You'll lift your knees 1 inch, then 1 more inch, then 1 more inch, then 1 more inch. Your hips will go high, high, high to the ceiling. Then you might, or you might not, see if you can straighten your legs. If you can't, no problem. When you land in this pose, your downward facing dog, your hips are high, high, high. That's your priority. If that means your knees are bent, that's totally fine. That's better than a shallow down dog with straight legs. So see if you can send the hips high, turn your biceps forward, spread out the fingers, grip down through those finger pads. And then if it feels good, you might add a little movement. So you might bend the knees side to side. You might press the heels down one at a time. You might not. Your down dog is your home base. It's not meant to be the most comfortable pose in the world, but it should feel familiar every time you land here. On an inhale, your breath in, slowly roll out to plank. So you're in the top of a push-up. On your exhale, gently drop your knees, then gently drop all the way down to your chest and belly. Now, slide your hands just a touch forward and a touch wide. As you press up, use the strength through your back to lift a couple of inches, a couple of more inches. Maybe you get to the point where you straighten your arms, or maybe you're nowhere close. This is your cobra. Find the spot that feels good where you can pull your heart through your shoulders, where you can fire up through your back muscles. One more inhale. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Now curl your toes and send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. That was your first flow sequence. Now come to your highest tippy toes and take baby tippy toe steps to the top of your space. Meet your feet with your hands, and then let your head, your shoulders, your arms hang heavy in a forward fold. You can have any amount of bend in the knees here. And if it feels hard to reach the floor with your fingertips, you might add a block or some books, maybe even a pillow or a cushion to bring the ground a little higher. Let your head hang. So give it a shake, yes. Give it a shake, no. Give it a shake, yes. Again, there's no ego or judgment attached here. If you're struggling to reach those fingertips to the ground, it simply means that you remind yourself yoga is a practice. Bend your knees a lot and super slowly roll all the way up to standing. When you land, you'll be in your mountain pose. So your feet will be about hips distance apart. Take your palms to each other and towards your chest. Find that grounded sensation, maybe even a little bit more length through the back of your body. On an inhale, it's your high mountain. Sweep the arms to the ceiling. On your exhale, dive right back into that forward fold. On your breath in, it's your halfway lift. Your fingertips slide to your shins as you gaze forward. You flatten out your back so that when you exhale, you can fold a little deeper. Press your palms, bend your knees. Step back, home base. Downward facing dog, you made it. Okay, from there, a couple of simple, not easy, but simple poses. Gaze forward, your right foot will slide between your palms. Now pivot and plant that back foot. So the outer edge of the foot is about 90 degrees or somewhere between 90 and 45 degrees. Doesn't have to be precise. When you are ready, use the strength through your legs, come to your fingertips, and then see if you can lift all the way up. Your left arm will sweep over your ear as you bend that front knee a lot. Once you bend that front knee a lot, take a look. That front heel will intersect an invisible line to the back arch of that back foot. As you reach your arms long, think about opening up the left arm, that back arm more, dropping the shoulders and gazing over that right middle finger. Think about your alignment in terms of how it feels instead of how it looks. Take a big breath in. A big breath out. On your inhale, you will reach the arms up and straighten that front leg. You're flying, you're warrior. On your exhale, right back to warrior two. Now your hands will come down around that front foot. So you'll land in a low lunge. You can keep that back knee up, or you can set it down. Keep your right hand down as you reach your left hand down as you reach your right arm up to the ceiling for a low lunge twist, just for a sec. Then take the right hand back down. If you've not already done so, gently drop that back knee. Inhale, look up at the ceiling. Feel that nice stretch on the left hip flexor. Exhale, walk your hands back and see how straight you can get that right leg without straining it. So it might be a little bend and extend. It might stay a little bent. If you can, you'll experiment with straightening that front leg. Notice what it feels like to flex the foot, to pull the right toes back towards the shin. Keep that nice neutral spine here so you're not rounded, you're not super arched, somewhere right in between. Take a big breath in, and then that right ankle will slide to the left as the right knee slides forward. So you'll bend that right leg, any little wiggles, shifts, or adjustments that you need. Back leg is straight. As you inhale, press away from the mat. As you exhale, let your shoulders relax away from your ears. Now, if you've done a pigeon pose before, and if this feels good, you might start to walk your hands forward. You might even be able to come to your forearms. You might even be able to stack the backs of your palms and rest your head there. If not, don't worry about it. If none of that feels right in your body, listen to yourself. Right ankle will come on the left thigh for a figure four. You could either be seated in that or on your back. It's totally up to you. If pigeon's feeling great, that's where you're going to stay. Take big breaths in and out in your pigeon, your hip opening stretch. This is often a favorite. It's definitely a beginner pose that you can intensify once it becomes a little bit more comfortable. When you are ready, you'll press up to your palms, curl those back toes, and take the front leg, right leg, to join the left. And again, your home base, your downward facing dog. Hold still for a second in that down dog and notice what it feels like between the sides. When you're ready to move on, your left foot will slide forward towards your hands. Right foot pivots and plants. Right arm will sweep over your ear as you land wide and up in your warrior two. Sink low into that front leg without reaching forward though. So hips are stacked right underneath your shoulders, neutral spine. Reach the right arm a little bit more to the right so both upper and lower body are active. Press through all four corners in both feet. On an inhale, flying warrior, straighten the legs, sweep the arms up. On the exhale, rebend. Both hands come down around that left foot. Low lunge, right hand down, left arm up. Just a twist for a sec. Left hand goes back down. Drop that back knee if it's not already on the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, walk your hands back for that half splits and see how it feels. Flex the foot if that feels good in the back of the leg. Check in with your core. It's engaged. Your low back, if it's starting to feel a little sensitive, rebend that front knee. Now the left ankle will slide to the right as the left knee slides forward. Press away from your mat so your chest is lifted and open. Take a big breath in. Exhale, you'll settle into your pigeon. You might stay upright. You might come forward. You might decide that on this side, a figure four is better for you. Take big breaths in and out. It doesn't need to be static. It might feel good to shift a little side to side. And then when you're ready, press to your palms. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Take a giant breath in. On your exhale, your knees will come down. Cross your ankles and roll backwards to take a seat. If landing cross-legged feels comfortable for you, that works. If something else is better for your legs, no problem. 2 final big deep breaths are how I like to end a practice to kind of seal it all in. So if you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms up to the ceiling, fill up your lungs to the very, very top, open your mouth, exhale, sigh all the way out. Last big inhale is where you gather up all that awesome energy you just created for your body, for your mind. You capture it between your palms and seal it all in by drawing down to your heart. I hope you enjoyed that simple beginner's flow and that you feel a little bit better. I'll see you soon.